The medical bay's alarm screamed through the corridors of the Celestial Harbinger, sending the entire crew into panic mode. Dr. Vexnar, the ship's chief medical officer, grabbed the emergency antidote kit and sprinted toward the human quarters with 3 security officers flanking him. How long ago did she ingest it? Vexnar's translator barked as his 6 legs carried him faster than he'd ever moved in his 40-year career. Approximately 7 minutes. Doctor, the security chief responded, his mandibles clicking nervously. The cargo manifest shows she accessed Storage Bay 7. The death apples were clearly marked with biohazard symbols in 17 languages. Vexnar's primary hearts sank. 7 minutes. That was already too long. The Xylothian death apple was legendary across the galaxy. A fruit so toxic that even its fumes could incapacitate most carbon-based life forms within seconds. Direct consumption meant certain death within 5 minutes for 99% of known species. He'd never actually treated a death apple poisoning before, because there were never any survivors to treat. The human, Scarlet Hayes, had joined their crew just 3 standard months ago as a xenobotanist. She was brilliant, enthusiastic, and apparently possessed the same self-preservation instincts as a Rigelian moth near a plasma core. They burst through her quarters door, medical scanner already humming in Vexnar's upper manipulator appendage. He expected to find a corpse, perhaps already beginning the rapid cellular breakdown characteristic of Xylothian toxin exposure. Instead, Scarlet sat cross-legged on her bunk, reading something on her datapad, very much alive. More disturbingly, she was taking another bite from a large crimson fruit that glistened with the telltale iridescent sheen of death apple flesh. Ms. Hayes. Vexnar nearly dropped his antidote kit.
Stop, don't swallow!
Scarlet looked up startled, her cheeks bulging slightly. She held up one finger in a universal wait-a-moment gesture, chewed thoroughly and swallowed. Sorry, Dr. Vex, that was really crunchy. What's up? The security officers had their weapons half drawn, as if the fruit itself might attack. Vexnar's translator struggled to process his shocked chittering for a moment before catching up. The antidote, he managed, stepping forward with the injector. How are you still conscious? The death apple, you've ingested it. Scarlet glanced down at the partially eaten fruit in her hand, then back at the frantic medical team crowding her doorway. Antidote for what? You mean this? She held up the death apple. Yeah, I found a whole crate of them in Storage Bay 7. They're amazing. Taste like a cross between a pomegranate and a mango, with a little tartness. Want to try some? She extended the fruit toward them. All 4 alien crew members simultaneously took a step back. That is a Xylothian death apple. Vexnar's voice rose to a pitch that threatened to shatter his translator. The most toxic fruit in the known galaxy. One bite contains enough cyanogenic glycosides to kill a Thoraxian battle beast. Not to mention the neurotoxic alkaloids, the hemorrhagic proteins, and the cellular disruption compounds. Scarlet's eyebrows rose. Oh, is that what these are called? I just saw Xylothian apple on the label. Nobody mentioned the death part. She took another casual bite. Honestly, they're pretty mild. I've had hot peppers that made me sweat more than this. Vexnar's medical scanner was going haywire, displaying readings that shouldn't be possible. Scarlet's vital signs were completely normal. No cellular breakdown, no neural degradation, no hemorrhaging. Her liver enzymes were slightly elevated, but nothing concerning. If anything, she seemed healthier than her baseline readings from last week. This is impossible, he whispered, running the scan again. You should be dead. 12 times over. Samuel Chen, the ship's human engineer, appeared in the doorway behind the medical team, drawn by the commotion. What's going on? Scarlet, are you... He spotted the fruit in her hand and his eyes widened. Is that what I think it is? If you think it's delicious, then yes, Scarlet said, grinning. She tossed it to him. The security officers dove for cover. Vexnar made a strangled sound that his translator rendered as untranslatable medical distress. Samuel caught the death apple, examined it, and shrugged. Cool, I was actually getting hungry. He bit into it, juice running down his chin. Vexnar collapsed against the doorframe, his exoskeleton suddenly feeling too heavy. There are 2 of them now, he muttered. 2 humans actively consuming death apples. They're really good, Samuel said around a mouthful. Little bit like lychee, too. Scarlet, where'd you find these? Storage Bay 7, there's a whole crate. I was going to catalog them for my xenobotany research, but then I got curious about the taste. You got curious about the taste, Vexnar repeated flatly, of a fruit from a planet where evolution dedicated millions of years to making it as lethal as possible. A fruit that the Xylothians themselves cannot eat. A fruit that requires hazmat suits just to transport safely. Scarlet shrugged. I mean, humans eat cassava and that's got cyanide in it. And fugu fish, which can kill you if prepared wrong. And we literally bred peppers to be more painful to eat because we thought it was fun. This is just a little more concentrated? Samuel nodded enthusiastically. She's got a point. Remember when you guys freaked out about me drinking coffee? And that turned out fine. Your coffee dissolved a titanium spoon when I tried to analyze it. Vexnar protested. Yeah, that batch was a bit strong, Samuel admitted. The security chief cautiously approached with his own scanner. Doctor, I'm reading. Are those metabolic enhancement markers? The humans appear to be processing the toxins and somehow deriving nutritional benefit from them. Scarlet perked up. Oh, that makes sense. I did feel really energized after the first one. I thought it was just the sugar content. Vexnar looked between the two humans, both happily eating what should be their doom, and finally allowed himself to sink down into a sitting position. Right there in the doorway, his antidote kit lay forgotten beside him. I need to update the human crew dietary guidelines, he said quietly. Again, for the 17th time this quarter. Can we keep the rest of the death apples? Scarlet asked hopefully. I was thinking of making a pie. Vexnar's translator simply gave up and emitted a long, defeated tone. From that day forward, the crew of the Celestial Harbinger learned an important lesson that every spacefaring species eventually discovered. Humans didn't just survive in the galaxy. They thrived by looking at things that said, do not eat fatal, and responding with, but have you tried baking it into a dessert?